What's going on, everybody? We will start it with this, I guess. Bam. All right. So what's happening? What's up, Matt K? Greg Zimmer. What's going on, Greg? Big face trucker in the house. Look at that. Saturday. Happy Saturday. Mac the trucker. What's going on? A lot of stuff happening in the world, right? The trucking industry, I thought I'd just jump in here. I mean, we could do a free-for-all Saturday if you want. I'll put a link up here. Maybe, if I get that thing copied. Anybody wants to join in, you can join in. I don't care. What's up, John? What's going on? So we worked today. Signed on another contractor with ELD and all that good stuff. Glad to have her part of the family. So she'll be off and running on Monday. And then we got 2 more coming next week. So that'll be good. What's up, TK? Hey now. What's going on, TK? What's happening? Just got parked yourself. Me too. I just got parked in this chair from after doing that and then doing some run around I had to do. Wow, Bill, what's going on? So we've been very, very busy on the carrier side. And then Steve announced, what he did, dispatch / in the brokerage and things like that. So we have a lot of moving parts going on right now. But it's a good thing, right? We're growing in all aspects. So in this economy, that's good, but what's this economy going to do? I watched some other YouTube channels, and I like how they try to predict the future or tell a story like everybody else says. Hey, why don't we just, everybody on the same page and charge this much money per mile? That'd be great, but you can't get everybody to do that. You can't get everybody to agree on anything, especially in this business. So to think that you're going to get a bunch of drivers to sit around and say they're only going to drive for $250 plus per mile, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What this is going to do is this economy is going to put all the people out of business that their business isn't financially sound. That's what it's going to do, right? So for all those folks that were out there and bought the $290,000 Kenworths, $300,000 Kenworths, the 586s, the W900s, and the $90,000 van trailers and the $120,000 or $30,000 plus reefer trailers back then, those folks are going to be out of business. That's just a sad story about it. They'll be out of business, and their trucks and trailers will be at Ritchie Brothers, right? That's where it's going to happen. Alaska Trucker, what's up? What's going on? Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Jerry's up there. He's snowmobiling right now. He just took a break. They just got 15 feet of snow. He's snowmobiling. He's having a good time. And then he's going to go out there and hit it on the ice road. Just kidding. It's probably 70 degrees over there right now. He's probably riding his motorcycle or his beeped up pickup truck. Or maybe his souped up car. He's got it all, folks. But that's what's happening here. Just thought we'd pop in. It's peaceful. Everybody's gone today, at least for 20 minutes, I guess. So we thought we'd just pop on here and talk about that for a minute. And we plan on growing more and more in the future. So that's what we are planning on to do. You can survive, but you want to be a slave to the truck. All the haggling and BS from brokers takes a toll on you. Yes, it does, Mac. Yes, it does. Big Mac, it sure does. It takes a toll because when you get into the broker part of it, the loads pay a whole lot more than what they're saying, what they try to make you move them for, right? Because they're all on this kick with DAT, and that's why I don't really use DAT that much. Is because they throw these numbers out there of what they say the average rate per mile is and things like that. And then you got all these new guys out there that they think that's gospel. And so what happens is that drives the rates down. And people say, well, supply and demand drives the rates down. Well, it does, but owner-operators drive the rates down. They do. They just do. Because somebody will take it for cheap, cheap, cheap. And once the broker can move it for that cheap, do you think he's gonna let somebody else have it for $1,000 more? When truck A calls him up and says, I'll do it for $4,000, truck B calls him up and says $3,800, and truck C comes in there and says, yeah, I'll do it for $3,000. Then he moves it for $3,000, and then the next one he gets, he posts it for $3,000. He might move for $31,000. Then he might post it for $28,000, move for $29,000, but he's still getting $4,500, $5,000 for that load. But he just keeps posting it lower and lower and lower because people are taking it. It's a business, right? It's a business. So the problem is when you have an overflow of trucks, they can do that because they know somebody's going to take it. That's just the true reality, in fact, of owner-operator. Because I've been in this position for 28 years owner-operator, something like that. Over 30 years in the industry, right? So, but that's just the reality of it. We're negotiating it amongst ourselves, right? Amongst other businesses in the same boat. And then that comes down to the guy that took it for $3,000. Maybe he's got a paid off truck. Maybe he's got a paid off trailer and he lives in it. He doesn't have a home, doesn't have a wife, doesn't have 5 kids. So he doesn't need that money. That's why he took it. And maybe he doesn't understand trucking. Maybe he thinks that's a good rate because no one's told him any different. So it's tough, right? It's tough. And that's why I said I watched the one video and the person on there was talking about the stuff and brought up, how we could change the rate. And yes, we could. The owner-operators of the world could change the rate if everybody stuck together and had the same, we're on the same playing field, right? The same game plan, which would be no less than this much per mile, and that's all we're going to do. Then they would have to raise it because no one would take it. Max says, I will say this. I have been using your daily cost a lot more these days, especially in the rougher markets. Be surprised what you can run. That's true. That's a true statement. Use cost per day. If you're stuck on the rate per mile, you're going to be sitting around forever not making any money. And when you sit around forever not making any money, then if you say I need $2.25 to run, if you sit 1, 2, 3 days, you're going to need a whole lot more than $2.25 a mile because you sat those days. If you know your daily operating cost per day, you would be surprised what you could actually move that truck at and break even. Now, is it good to break even? No, it's not. Not all the time, anyway. You need to have extra money coming in for those situations. So, but it teaches you can move to where other people are sitting because they say, I'm not going to move for that. And you say, well, it meets my cost per day. Boom, I get over here, and then I take me another load that makes me the profit. Those are the folks that get through the rough waters in trucking when it's times like this. The folks that sit around and sit there for day after day after day after day, waiting for that unicorn load or the so much per mile that they think they need, those are the ones that go out of business. Because they might not go up right away, but what happens is their bank accounts start getting lower and lower and lower. Then they stop paying truck payments, and then pretty soon they stop paying credit card payments because everything they put on credit card, and then they stop paying house payments, and then it all goes to where, down the toilet after that. If you watch Trucker AK from Florida, he said he's taking $1 loads for flatbed. Now, that's another thing. If you go down to Florida and you like to run from down to Florida and back up, hey, if you get that load that goes back up the same day, and you make your fuel money and everything else, but you made the money going in, and you cost average those two loads, there's nothing wrong with that. Because if it keeps your business and your home life going, then it keeps you going. The big difference between now and COVID, when those rates were really, really low, is everything's open now to where it wasn't, and two, everybody's out here on the road to where they were sitting at home and getting paid to sit at home. Now they're not getting paid to sit at home, so there's a difference. And those folks that didn't know how to really run in a rough market got paid to sit, and now they don't know how to work that in their business plan, right? They don't know how to do it. So they don't know nothing about cost per day. And a lot of people laugh about cost per day now, and you've seen it all over YouTube. But none of those people are in business. Or if they are, they were in business, out of business, in business, out of business, because they weren't following it, because they didn't have the mindset for the business. But it's a good tool, right? It's a good tool. You can use all the tools. But that is a number one tool. You'll stay in business, because if you know your daily amount you have to make to keep your business and your home running, and if you make that daily amount every single day, your business is not going to go out of business. Because you're going to make more than that, actually, on an average. And then that will be your maintenance fund, because you have all these numbers built in your maintenance fund and everything. So you set it all in there. Unless you have a catastrophic failure or something really bad happen, you'll be able to weather the storm. Daniel says, make sure I didn't miss nobody. What's up, Southbound Jay? Took a load today, got me home, but doesn't deliver until Tuesday at 0700. At least I'll be home tomorrow and Monday. Well, that's another thing. You can use that extra time, right, to go by the house for those couple days and be under a load. So that way, you're still making money and you're still getting home, and it's the best of both worlds, really. But Anthony Bressler, what's happening? Hey, Anthony, how are you and the family doing? I always ask Anthony that, how the family's doing. Asked him that for 10 years or so. I don't know. He's been watching for a long time. Same thing for Alaskan Trucker. Good to see you live. Well, yeah, I got a question up here. I seen something about Snowlord pop through here. Tennessee 1 asked, did see Snowlord this week? Is he okay? Snowlord is definitely okay. He is working. He's working a lot. He's had a lot on his plate this week. He's moved broker load. He's done a lot of dispatch service stuff. Plus took over for me for a day or two, I think it was. So anyway, he's worked a lot, right? He's doing a lot. So he didn't have time for live feeds, because everything happens in the day. So his live feeds are in the morning coffee live feeds. So when he's really busy like that, because it's been a real rough, well, not rough week, but tough week. He's had to get his people where they wanted to be because some of his people he dispatched needed to be at certain places. So that was a little more difficult and challenging in this environment. Plus, he moved a broker load on the spot market, which is also challenging. You get people to call you up that don't speak English. You don't understand what they're saying. You look up their MC numbers. It's all over the place. What are your fixed costs at your company? Well, I can tell you that, but I'm not going to. Southbound pachyderm, what's going on? My fixed costs are high. My buddy Reefer, Tom, wants you to message him. I think you know why I'm talking about. If not, Steve knows. All right, Brian, no problem. I will message him. Let me see if... Well, I'll do better than that, Brian. I'll just call him after this live feed. I'll just call him. So that's what we're doing. We are going to continue to grow, continue to try to save the contractors money. As we grow, we're getting better and better fuel discounts and so on. Hopefully, during the next year when we renew insurance and all that, hopefully we get lower rates. Because if we can get lower rates, then everybody wins in that situation. So, no, I meant if I come over. Sorry, Mr. Polo. Oh, what are your fixed costs at your company? Oh, I thought you want to know what my fixed costs were. Oh, well, it depends, Mr. Polo. Some contractors over here have zero fixed cost from us, because the only time you have fixed cost at this company is if you rent a trailer or you buy your insurance through us for your fleet insurance or your license plate. So if you had your own tractor, your own trailer, your own license plate, and you came over here, you would have an escrow until the escrow was made. And then after that, there are no fixed costs after that. You have a variable cost, which is IFTA. So every quarter you'll get your IFTA charge. But other than that, there's no fixed cost. Now, if you needed a license plate and you wanted to rent the trailer to get 80%, and you wanted to get your insurance through our fleet insurance program, then you would have a daily fixed cost, depending on how much insurance you bought for your truck and so forth. Then you'd have daily fixed costs. So trailer, same thing. Depends on what type of trailer you get. Flatbeds are more expensive than vans and so forth. So your fixed costs there would depend on what trailer group you were hauling. So it varies, right? Everybody's fixed costs vary if they get the package. Because if a guy has a $30,000 truck and he gets the insurance through us, and another guy has a $180,000 truck and gets the insurance through us, their daily cost is way different. I mean, I can give you an example. So let's say, how much is your truck worth, Mr. Polo? I'll wait. If you answer, I'll tell you. I'll give you a ballpark. It'll be within a couple cents anyway. Because we don't charge for the ELD. We put that in. We don't do no charges for that. And we don't charge for the cargo insurance and the liability insurance. All that's in there. So if you sit at home for, if you're over here and you don't have any fixed costs because you have your own plate, your own trailer and all that stuff, if you sit at home for 2 weeks and you come back on the road, You're not in the hole for nothing. You just go back on the road. Your truck's 15 grand. Let's see what that is. All right, so we'll add in bobtail insurance and occupational. So if you were over here and you had a $15,000 truck and you got your physical damage, bobtail, occupational insurance all through us, the fixed cost on that would be $8.05 a day. So all those insurance bundle package would cost you basically $8 a day. $8.05 to be exact, but $8 a day. So then if you were, renting, let's say you're renting a trailer, you didn't have a trailer and you wanted the 80%, you didn't want the 73%, just with truck, and you wanted to be part of the 80% program, and let's say the trailer was $25 a day, your cost would be $33. If it was, 30, then it'd be $38. So it just varies depending on what trailer group you get into. But for your insurance, $8 a day for all those. Because your insurance would be, just on the truck for physical damage, be $684 a year. So if you divide that by 12, it's $57 a month. But I just divide that by 365 to get a daily. But then you got to add in the 143 and the 45 a month for those other two insurances, and you get the $8 a day. And then of course we do a lot of other stuff too, Mr. Polo. We have quarterly safety bonuses. Every year you're here, you go up 0.5%. So if you're here for 2 years, you're 81. 4 years, you're 82, and so forth. So that's just another way to climb up the ladder in percentage and not have the other expenses go up. We call that our longevity bonus. We're still fighting over the hail damage, right? We just had somebody go up on our roof and they patched a couple of holes that were up there from the hail. Still waiting to get estimates on that. Still waiting to see about getting the cars fixed, so forth and so forth. What a mess. What a mess. We got a windshield put in one of the cars last week. They brought the wrong windshield. They're going to redo it again on Tuesday. Unbelievable. So what's freight going to do? If you've been watching the freight market and everything, everybody has an opinion on what it's going to do. And what's fuel going to do? The reason why fuel is going up because OPEC cut production. And why are they doing that? Election year is coming up, right? So, are they doing it because they don't want the current administration in there anymore? Raise it up, make people mad? I don't know. There's a lot of politics going on. So, who knows? We are going to add probably four more drivers 4 or 5 more contractors between now and the end of the year. And we're going to hold steady right at that until next year. And then we'll grow. Then we'll grow again, right? So we have 4 or 5 slots left. Is basically what we have until the end of the year. Once those fill, we will not onboard anybody the rest of the year. Because I watch my numbers. I watch the numbers. I know what the insurance company likes to see on growth and numbers. So we are not going to surpass that. So 4, maybe 5 between now and the end of the year. And if we get all those folks by the end of August or into September, then we shut that off until January. Unless someone leaves, then we will replace contractors that leave. So we keep the number where we need to be for the end of the year renewal period. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do. So if you're thinking about coming over or wanting to come over, the door's still open. How long that'll stay, I don't know. Like I said, we put a young lady on today. I sent out 2 LDs on Monday for those folks. So, and I've already included those. So that's why I'm saying 4 or 5 more after these 3 contractors. And then we'll be done for the rest of the year unless we replace anybody that leaves. So we're out of here Saturday. I'm gonna go out for a ride, I think. Relax a little bit. Call that contractor up that he told me about. Brian, I'm gonna call him up. Over Texas, Minnesota. I think the rates are going up. UPS can pay drivers $170,000 with bennies. Papa Wheelie, yes. Thanks, Overtax. Yeah, those rates are flying, right? But they can dictate their own rates, like FedEx and UPS and them. That's their own stuff, so they can tell the people how much they're going to pay to move their packages, and people are going to pay it. Because some people like to use them over U.S. Postal Service. They think they're better and things like that, and when they're really no different. But that's what people like to use, and they don't care if they got to pay an extra $2 for the package or $3. They'll do it. Well, thanks, Southbound Jay. Appreciate it. Thanks for everybody watching, everybody subscribing. If you want to hit the thumbs up on the way out, do that. And thanks to everyone that, sponsors the channel and we advertise for. Thunder Funding, 123 Load Board, AXISTMS, Trucking Office, My Driver Files, right, because that's down there. I'm also checking out their Vehicle File program. I might show that. It's a really nice program also. Their Vehicle Files is really nice to keep your files up to date and everything. So there. Amira, so what separates my company from the rest? Southbound Jay says it the best right there. Everything is transparent. We don't hide anything. It's all right there in the contract. We go over it. The settlements are simple to read. There's nothing there. It's all daily. Everything is taken out by the day because we pay after every run. And we've been doing that since day one. People said I couldn't do it. Like almost 7 years ago it's been, right? They said I couldn't do it. I said, yes, I can do it, and I'll do it. And I said, well, when you get to 5 trucks, you won't do it. When you get to 10 trucks, you won't do it. When you get to 20 trucks, you won't do it. When you get to 25 trucks, you won't do it. We still do it. Still do it. Paid after every run. Do payroll every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday. So only on business days we do it, and I still even do it on some of the holidays because that's just what I do. And that's it. That separates us. What separates us, the main thing is I'm a veteran. I was an owner-operator for 28 plus years, been in the business 30 something years, and I designed this company to try to give as much money as possible to the owner-operator and the business still be profitable and be able to grow. That's the main separator. You're not going to find that in any of the other ones. They're all about taking everything that they can get, because if you look at some of them that do those percentages, they fee you to death. All kinds of fees. They got contracts that are really hard to read. You see stuff on your settlement, you don't really know what's going on. And they come back months later and take money back from loads that you've already been paid for, and they say, well, rate reduction and things like that. We don't do that. So there you go. I've even had loads that didn't get paid. I never went back to the contractor and took that money back. Could I? Sure, I could have. It's in the contract. Did I? No, I didn't. So that's the difference. All the other big companies, they're going to go back and take that money. Guaranteed they're going to take that money. Y'all agree on that? Y'all agree on that? If you're at one of those other companies, and let's say you're late delivering a load, and they charge $200 for being late, and so the rate con comes back, the pay comes back in, and it's $200 short. All those other companies are going to take that $200 back. I guarantee it. They're going to take it. Overtax in Minnesota, and allegedly. Well, yes and no, overtaxed. The one driver, I said, hey, are you hungry? You want to go get something to eat? And the contract I signed on today, I would have offered her to go out, right? We could have went out to the steakhouse or wherever, but she's local. She had a lot of things to do. So, she had to get that done. But one of the other drivers was here, and he said, well, let's just go get breakfast. So that's what we did. I understand you seem a respectable man, but I'm talking about getting loads from the open market. Well, we have a lot of brokers that call us. We do have some dedicated stuff from brokers to where if we say we got someone coming in that area and the loads they still pay really well in this environment. We get those loads. So there is a difference. You go to some places that do the open market, and there might be a lot of brokers that won't even load them. So we're a tight family. So everybody does the job right because they know what they do can affect the other contractors that are here. So that's what we go on. So you got to make sure everybody's doing the job right. Everybody's on the same page. That way the customers are happy, which is the brokers. And that way we don't have any problems with them. Does that sum it up for you? Did you get your house back together? No, man, there's pieces. There's pieces all over the place over tax. It's like a bomb hit here, right? That hail was size of baseballs. It went through the roof vent on top. It went through the roof vent. Put a big hole up there. So, we had a roofer guy go up and seal that up until they can fix that. It broke multiple windows. The pool, it's an above ground pool. Now this is the kind of force it had. It went through the 4.5 feet of water and put divots in the bottom of the pool, about yay deep. So that ice ball went through that much water, hit the bottom of the pool, and still put divots that far deep, because you can see the liner divoted in right in about 30 spots. So we know it's probably got a hole in it because it's leaking water, right? It's not staying up, it's going down little by little. So probably got to have it tore down and everything else and all put back up. It's going to be a mess. So anyway, enough of that. Hey, everybody, have a good weekend. We're out of here. Drive safe. Be safe, because look, that truck, make sure you get your trucks up to shape. Make sure you don't sit there and slack on the maintenance, because that's your livelihood, right? That truck's your livelihood. And for all those men and women out there that don't get out and kick the tires and actually look at the truck on pre-trips and post-trips, you're doing yourself an injustice, let alone the other public. But if you don't get out there and look, that's your livelihood. So if you could catch it before it breaks, look at all the money you saved instead of getting road calls and things like that. And everybody knows, you see it. You'll see somebody get up beside you in the truck stop, and they'll go inside and get a coffee, come back in their truck, and they'll drink their coffee. Next thing you know, they're driving down the road. They didn't get out and open the hood. They don't know if they have a belt loose or a belt off, or if there's something leaking. They don't know any of that. So, and it gives you some exercise, right? Get out there, get a little exercise, look underneath the hood, check the tires, look at your brake linings, things like that. The easy stuff that DOT catches on. Look at the lights. And, just get out there and have a good time and make some money. Hey, we'll see y'all later. Let's end with something. Maybe we'll play some, wait a minute. Here, let's rock out to some Snortlord music.